What's up guys, John here from the Killer Bits, and today I'm taking a quick look at Dissonance by Philip Royer. This is a strange little game. I thought I'd do a video on it because it was something a bit different. First off, I'll just show you the credits. This is essentially a one-man band, so as you can see there, Philip Royer, designed, developed, written by. Music is quite chill in this. It is kind of quite laid back and smooth. But yes, by Cornukousa Friend. I think that's how you pronounce it. I butchered it anyway. And then we got people who worked on it. Obviously, surname Roy. I think it's a friends and family type thing. But this is quite weird. I mean, if you look at it, yes, it's got kind of a Papers, Please feel to it. It's a very chunky pixel art look to it. Configurations, there's very few settings. We've got resolution settings, we've got music, sound, and narration. Narration is actually a big part of this because, how would I describe this game? It's essentially a storytelling game. I wouldn't say it's a narrative game in the same way as you're creating the story. It's a narrative game in the sense that you're having the story told to you. I mean, tutorial is very basic. It basically gives you the layout of how to control everything. So we have the tape deck. We can use controller, but I'm using keyboard and mouse. You might ask, why do you need directional controls for what is essentially a page-turning simulator, I'd call it. It's not quite a walking simulator. The music fades out. But as I say, it's a narrative story in the sense that you can do this. You can obviously read or...
Bartholomew Brittle lived in a 157 square foot apartment. Every morning at 9:42 a.m. he would rise and make English breakfast tea. While letting the tea steep for 3 minutes and 14 seconds, he showered.
So there we go. You can have the story told to you, and that's what kind of made it feel a bit unique to me. I mean, we've had stuff like Dear Esther and things like that, walking simulators where you have very little control over the game. It is basically you're going down a path, and I suppose that, in a sense, is what this is. It's a story. It's a page-turning simulator because you have very little agency over that. But it's the way it's done. It's, you know, almost 30 Flights of Loving. The story is quite short and it's being told to you in a unique way. Obviously, this is very 2D. This is as 2D as you can get because you're reading pages on and that. But it has these kind of little mini games at the end of each chapter. This maze one is very, very simple. It may look like a complicated maze, but there is just one path, and you just use the keyboard to navigate around, and that's all you do. So it's a game in the sense that there is some stuff to do. You do interact with it, but it's very, very minimal interaction. And this is actually a paid-for game. It isn't a free game. It's $5 over on itch.io. But I thought I'd bring it to you because it's something a bit different. Obviously, the title Dissonance, it gets its name from, obviously, dissonance meaning kind of disharmony and that. And it's getting its name from the fact that it's based on these two characters, Bartholomew, and his interactions with Clementine. And they start talking about the meaning of life. And it's the back and forth, and that is where the dissonance comes from. But it's kind of an interesting story. As I say, I don't know who's narrating. I presume it is Roy that's kind of narrating it all. But it just felt to me something a little different, and obviously we get a lot of kind of... Well, at the moment, all YouTube videos seem to be either Minecraft or Fallout or GTA and things like that. So this felt a bit different. So I thought I'd bring it to you to actually have a look at and make up your own mind. Now, I'm not quite sure what is happening with the cards. I've flicked back and forwards through these pages whether there's actually any reference to cards. because it doesn't really seem to matter which card I pick, because it still progresses the story. Whether it actually affects anything in the end, I don't know. I've essentially paid the first few chapters. I'm going to pick that one. Oh, we got the Six of Swords. So it has changed a couple of times when I've played it, so what the number of swords means, I don't know. So, but as we go through, as I say, it's just something a bit quirky, a bit different. Whether you want to fork out $5 on it, I don't know. It is just a quirky, different one. I mean, I can read you one of the chapters if you want, or we can have the narrator do it. Now, this threw me a little, thinking, oh right, okay, well, they did get rid of Pluto, but this is actually set in... Oh, no, go back. Oh, we have to do that again. Oh, look, see, changes, One of Swords. It's set in 1969. So, we do actually have... There you go, 9 planets. Of course, we've got 7 continents. This is me pulling out kind of basic knowledge from geography lessons at school all those years ago. And 5 oceans, and there you go. It basically activates the next chapter. So these puzzles are very simple, and they are just kind of something to do essentially whilst you're listening to the story being read to you. This is a bit of a different one. So obviously if you're using controller, you use controller, but I'm using keyboard. And we've got very basic controls. If you look at the top here, I'm using WASD for the left and right, and then we can use down, which is basically punch, and then we can block. And take some pot shots, pot shot, pot shot, pot shots. Block, block, hold, block, hold, punch, punch, punch. It's all in the mind. No, it's not quite for the rapper, but it's very, very basic. But there's something quite charming about this. I don't know whether it's because it's got that almost Papers, Please feel to it. It has that kind of charm to it. But yeah, this is something a bit different. So I thought I'd share it with you guys. Obviously, if you like what you see, you can check it out for yourself. I'll leave a link in the description as always. And we get to see some pretty pixel art pictures. 178 miles per hour oil on canvas. So these are nice recreations of famous paintings, but in pixel art form. Yeah, there is a genuine charm to this. And as I say, if you want to check it out, I will leave a link down below. And if you want to check out more videos from us, obviously you can subscribe if you're new to the channel. And if you like the video, obviously like the video. It does help out. And let us know what you think. I mean, is this kind of game something you're interested in? Would you like us to do more games on this? Obviously, I always try and bring you something a little bit different for these kind of first impressions. Oh, right, we got the planets. Now, I don't know how you all remember, but I always do my very excellent mate just saved us £9. There we go. Yeah, okay, alright, well, I've gone on long enough. As I say, if you want to get in touch, obviously you can do in the comments, or if you're over on Facebook, you can get in touch with us on facebook.com/thekillerbits, or on Twitter @thekillerbits. And if you want to help us out, obviously subscribing and liking does help us out enormously. But if you want to go above and beyond, you can maybe go over to Patreon at patreon.com/thekillerbits, where you can actually help the channel out by pledging a little bit of money, whether it's, just $1 or something like that. It does help us out. It does help with kind of getting hold of newer games and general running costs for the channel. But I mean, if you haven't got money, don't worry about it. All you have to do is, if you think this is the sort of video or sort of game people in your social circle might like, obviously you can share us, help get our name out to people that might enjoy our videos. That's probably actually the biggest thing you can do. Anyway, this is the where I got stuck last time. The equation. I've got to work out the meaning of life based on decisions, fate, knowledge, pi, reward, trial, and volume. So whilst I'm trying to figure that out, I'm going to leave you guys to it. Alright, I will catch you later, guys. Bye!
Bartholomew didn't sleep that night. He read about how Egyptians used the distance between points on their bodies to make measurements. He read about the Mayans using the celestial bodies to calculate their calendar. Hundreds of needs solved by the use of math and theory. Surely, somewhere in all this lay the key to calculating the meaning of life.